New Orleans. Actually, all of Louisiana. The boot. Down in the city. Okay, baby. DJ Flash on the train. Cause he's on the beat and the shit's on blank. Mostly. The hell not. DJ Flash, what's up? Alright, Flash. Down in the city. Come on. That care for God. Down in the city. That care for God. Down in the city. That care for God. In the city, for God, I can still hear the voices of the and have not almost late. Everybody got pain, everybody got problems. We gon' have to come together if we ever want to solve them. Can't say you love daddy and ignore mama. Can't stand in the same place if you wanna go further. Down in the city, back here, oh God, hey. Down in the city, back here, oh God. Down in the city, back here, oh God. I can still hear the voices of the hell. I gotta pause there, y'all. I gotta get this song, bro. We're gonna get back to that beat, but I had to celebrate. I had to celebrate them 20,000 streams. I had to celebrate them 20,000 streams right fast for y'all. So, I don't know if it got 20,000 streams. I might be lying. I might just have 20,000 plays. Right, y'all know I'll be doing all that. But I know the numbers was 20,000. So, but I'm really excited about that. I feel like I need to make another bounce song. Because they like it, and so we have all of these people who are listening to that song who are getting this message of, you know what I'm saying, can't say you love daddy and ignore mama, can't stand in the same place if you want to go further. like people are downloading that. There's probably some people playing it over and over again. Like, I doubt it's 20,000 authentic, different people listening. But it's definitely a lot of people listening. Because I know it ain't just 2 or 3 people that play my song 20,000 times. So, definitely some people listening. And I'm very, very thankful for that. I'm thankful that the message is getting out there of wholeness, that the message is getting out there of celebrating our whole selves. I cannot stress that enough. So I'm sharing this to some of my places that I share. I don't share in a lot of places anymore. A long time ago, I was all about the views, honey. But, as you mature and as the ancestors continue to pour wisdom into me, you realize that flies will gather to shed. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Flies will gather to shed. And so I don't need 1 million followers. I don't need 100,000. That'd be nice, but I sure don't need it. Amen, a woman. So, because like I said again, flies will gather to shit, and I'm not interested in mosquitoes or flies. I don't need you gathering. I don't need you gathering for foolishness. No. So, sometimes I might be foolish because I'm whole. Sometimes I'm going to be foolish. Sometimes I'm going to do foolish things. Sometimes I'm going to feel like cutting up and entertaining y'all, and sometimes I'm going to feel like that. Yeah, and that's a part of my personality. That's a part of my being. That's a part of my personhood. So you're definitely going to get those teas from me every now and then, but that does not constitute who I am in its entirety by any means. So today, I'm finna say some things that might offend some people, and this is not gonna be a PC video. Like I have a dynamic vocabulary, but sometimes I just curse because I like the way it sounds coming out my mouth. So, and I'm whole. Like, I'm not a whole lot of curse words because I don't curse all the time. I don't just sit up and curse from sun up to sundown. But sometimes, as one of my old girlfriends used to say, you gotta eat that greasy pork chop. You know what I'm saying? I commune with that pig every now and then. I don't eat pig all the time, but I do commune with the pig on occasion. So, at some points in this video, I might decide, a man, a woman, that I might want to chew on that greasy pork chop. So, if your ears are sensitive, this ain't the life for you. This is not the life for you. If your ears are sensitive, if my trauma and my mental illness, because at this point, we're all dealing with some form of mental illness. The question is my mental illness compatible with your mental illness? Because at this point in this matrix, in society, we are all dealing with some form of mental illness. Anybody who has had to assimilate, to try to crush themselves into a box that they were never designed to go in, you're not being realistic if you're saying that you're not dealing with any type of trauma, any type of PTSD. If you're not dealing with anything, either you're completely oblivious, somewhere living under a rock, and you're not paying attention to anything that's going on around you. That's why we're constantly promoting therapy and mental health, therapy and mental health. That's why this big wave of mental health is sweeping the nation. Everybody want to talk about mental health right now because we are all dealing with some form of trauma from trying to play this game. Some of us are just more skilled at hiding it. Some of us are just more skilled at keeping it concealed. And that's on period, Pooh. So I'm gonna talk to y'all about a few things this day on Sunday. This is the day that the God Goddess has made. My mother and my father woke me up this morning. A man, a woman, Laylim Layler. And I wanted to sit in my room. I wanted to sit amongst my art and sit amongst the stories, sit amongst my hieroglyphs. I felt like sitting in the upper room today, baby. Sitting in the rocking chair. I always wanted one of these. My great grandma had one. Oh. And I am wearing indigenous garb. I do know that I have Cherokee and Choctaw in my family, but I don't have no papers. That's why I started my own tribe. I started my own culture. And right now, it's just a couple of loyal people that's a part of it, but all it takes is one. And so if it was just me, if it was just the cheese standing alone, Pooh, that's what it'd be. Because I live for this, and I'm willing to die for this. That's what life is about. Finding something that that you can resonate with, that feels real for you. And so I'm not trying to find out too much about the Cherokee. I'm not trying to find out too much about the Choctaw, because that was then and this is now. I honor them for what they did. Obviously, I'm wearing bone, the bone of a cow, and I'm wearing the bone of a lamb. And these earrings were from my last meal with my sister Jasmine before me and her fell ill. She's a Libra, and Onisha and I gave me this bone, and they are also a Libra. And I feel like both of their skills are kind of off, but together, then maybe we could get some balance. So I'm adorned with jewelry that has Libra memories, and Libra is the scale. So maybe if I could get both of them to work together, I could get the balance that I need to talk to y'all today. So this video was inspired by, now mind you, I got my own trauma going on in the background. I let a trans man come stay at my house last night. And I'm going ahead and keep it real with you, keep it a bean. Y'all know I don't lie. I don't make shit up. So this weekend, I decided to experiment with some stronger substances. I smoked a little tea. And the reason why I did it, now the last time I did tea was probably like 7 to 8 months ago, just to give you some context. But I started feeling like, I was doing the other little stuff, like every now and then I do a little sniff, just to feel young and to get up and do something and have some energy. Because, I'm a sex change, we get tired fast, especially if I ain't took my little half a tea shot, I get a little tired. So I use it medicinally. I don't abuse things. I use them medicinally. Just like when we go to the pharmacy, you get your Percocets and you get your Vicodin and you get all that. I use my street pharmacist medicinally. I use it as needed. So last night I went out and the night before last, I went out, I got me a little tea, got me a little bowl. And I thought, because I'm trying to finish my book, right? I'm trying to finish my book, so I wanted to plow through the book, because this is my third time going over it. So I wrote it last year, and I've been constantly going over it again this year, reworking sentences, and because when I give it to the editor, I want to make sure when they come at me saying we want to change this or we want to do this, I want to be able to say, because the only thing that I want them to do is go over anything that I missed as far as punctuation. I don't want you changing no sentences. I don't want you changing no words. I don't want you saying I need to say it like this. I'm saying everything how I want it to be said. And if you don't get it, it ain't for you to get. Like Jesus said in the Bible. If you don't understand, then shake the dust from your feet and depart from this city. Period. I said what I said. And so it is. And so mote it. So anyway, the book is emotional. It is. I don't go deep into too many things because the book will be 2,000 pages long. It would, it would take me forever to write it. So I'm kind of just like skimming over my life, and it's already 400 and something pages according to Microsoft. But I'm skimming over my life, trying to give the highlights, the most precious memories, trying not to leave anybody out who I love, trying to be thoughtful of that while I'm writing. And, it gets exhausting because now I have a partner and, my partner, his brain works differently. So I give him a lot of attention. And I'm crazy about it. Like I can't, I'm just crazy about it. Like, and I'm trying to have balance in my life. I'm trying to make time for him, trying to make time for my job, trying to make time for Laylim Layler and the work that I do outside of Laylim Layler. And so I feel like I'm being stretched in a whole lot of different ways. My daughter's getting ready to have her sex change really, really soon. And so there's a lot going on in my life. And so I wanted to escape. So I went out and I got me a little bag. Child, I came home and I started doing it. I thought, it did help me because I did kind of like pummel through 2 of the recollections because I'm not doing chapters, I'm doing recollections. So I pummeled through like 2 of the recollections And but I felt like I had put too much in my head while I was in a vulnerable state. Because when we use, we have to understand that we're putting ourselves in a vulnerable state. Now, weed is kind of different for me. Weed give me a poker face because I'm a naturally open and vulnerable person. So I use weed to help me be more logical instead of everything from the heart. Like weed for me is like I'm analyzing you. So I use weed for a poker face. Weed also helps me to sit still because I'm a person who likes to travel. I'm a person who likes to move around. And so weed is kind of like a stabilizer for me. It helps me to sit still. It helps me to say, okay, you're gonna stay here. I'm come home from work, look forward to my little joint, and my little glass of wine, honey. And girl, that's my stable settle. You know, that's my stable settled-tease. But I have been given stable settle for about 3 weeks. It was boring. I was ready to get up and do something. So I was feeling fat. I was just feeling bloated. I was feeling a whole bunch of things. And I just wanted something to make me feel light. Give me some hump. Get me up. So anyway, I did the girl. At first it was cute. But what I didn't like was because I do have an affinity for smoke. I like to see smoke. I love to see, all of the drugs that I do, they really, like, that's why I don't inject. And I'm not really big on sniffing. I like to see smoke. Weed smoke, crack smoke, Tina smoke. I'm just infatuated with smoke. So anyway, halfway into it, I started feeling like poo. And so I caught myself because it wasn't going the way I wanted it to go. I thought I was going to be super exotic with my partner. I thought, child, I was so jittery, I couldn't even suck the dick right. It was a mess. It was a mess. Then I was depressed after that all day the next day. So, needless to say, I cracked the utensil, disposed of her immediately, and threw the rest of it away, flushed the rest of it down the toilet. Like, I may have done, I would say I did about 30% of it, and I threw 70% of it away. Because I was like, it just went, and then I couldn't go to sleep. I was up all the next day. And I don't like anything to control my sleep. But in my mind, I thought when I did it, I was just going to get 1 or 2. And I was going to be like, I'm good. But then I noticed that the euphoria was leaving me so fast. And I wanted the euphoria to continue. And so I kept indulging. And when I was indulging, the euphoria would leave again. And the depression would come in. And so it was like I wasn't escaping. Like I was trying to escape, but I wasn't escaping. And I didn't even go out like I planned. I thought I was going to use it to go out and party. I didn't do none of that. So needless to say, before the night was over, I ended up disposing of that. And child, it'll probably be another month of Sundays before we convince ourselves to go back down that road. But anyway, doing my excursion, I was feeling super happy. I need my fan because I feel like I'm sweating. Hold on. Y'all know she got studio lighting. She got studio lighting now. I know you see how well lit it is. And baby, these lights is tearing me up. This studio lighting is wearing me out, chill. But anyway, so while I was in that, I knew I was gonna be partying. I knew I was gonna be up. So there's this trans man that I hang out with, right? And the trans man came over and spent the night. Now, this is the same trans man that me and my partner had the threesome with, who's born on my birthday. So, I don't want to be one of those girls that all I got around me is dicks. Whether it's a trans girl or whether it's a male. Like, I don't want to be one of those girls. Every time you see me, I'm always around a bunch of dicks. I'm always around a bunch of penises. So I try to make space for females. I try to make space for XX. I sincerely do. But what I'm not finna do is let you take out your anger on me because the patriarchy fucked you over. I am not my forefathers. And I am not fit to be punished for what they did to you. I am not them. Let me make that abundantly clear. I don't move like them. I am not fixing to be punished for what my forefathers did to you. Because I've been out here in the trenches with you, whether I was born with this pussy or not. This pussy didn't fall in my lap. I laid on a table and risked my life for it. Then when you get mad, you're a man. You're a man, you're a man, you're a man. And see, I was mad at my partner because he didn't check him when we was up in here arguing. But I know why he didn't check him, because he doesn't see him as a man. But if I thought for 1 second that he saw him as a man and he let him wear me out like that, Houston, we have a problem. But if you present like a man, you need to be treated like one. If you're saying you're a man, then you need to be treated like one. You can't revert to your female privilege when it's convenient. Because I don't revert to my male privilege. I always walk in the same energy. I'm whole. I'm more so my foremothers than my fathers. But I always honor everything that is within me. I'm not ashamed of who I was. So let's talk about what inspired this whole video. So I saw the conversation with Hope Javale and Dr. Umar. And this guy was giving a review of the video. I can't think of his name, but I was in the comment section and I defended Hope. But on this live, I'm finna, I defended her in the comments because that's my sister. And before I say, not my sister, a sister that I know, but she's my sister in community. Because she rarely acknowledges me, although when she saw me, she paid homage. She made her way over to speak to me the last time she saw me. So she paid homage. But when she in these internet streets, she give grandest of the grandest of the grand. But when you saw me in person, you did pay homage. And that's why get to a certain age, we get a little bitter and we get a little shady. Hope bypassed all of that and still made her way over to acknowledge me in a homage-like way. That's why I give her respect. But when she in the internet streets, she the grandest of the grandest of the grandest and don't acknowledge a girl. But when you met me in person, you paid homage. You knew better. Because these girls, a lot of these girls, the shit that y'all doing now, I did 25 years ago. I was wearing a bald blonde head 25 years ago. When you girls was scared to wear a bald head, I was wearing one. When you girls were horrified to take your wigs off, when you girls were sleeping with your wigs on, I was wearing a bald head. honor me. But mother, no, you know it. You know who the roots of the tree is, mama. I stayed in the back so a lot of y'all could move forward. I stayed in the background on purpose so a lot of y'all could move ahead. Because mothers do that. That's what a mother does. She ain't got to be in the front. She ain't got to be in front of the camera all the time. It ain't got to be about her all the time. She does the role, that thankless job, that any credit for it. And so let's get into this whole. My problem with Hope is that the conversation that she put herself in when she did the eyes, when she was like speaking from the narrative. This is my problem with the binary. Because on Hope's platform, we know Hope is not denying that Hope is trans. We know Hope is not denying her past. We know Hope ain't erasing old pictures of herself. We know that to some degree, Hope is whole. Hope is not delusional around here pretending like she's a biological female. But what opens the door for confusion is when we try to speak as if being a woman is the only narrative that we've ever had, is the only experience that we've ever had. And so that's when it becomes a problem for me. For me, this is me personally. And this is how cisgender men, black men, infiltrate and use that against us. So Hope is sitting there speaking from the woman's standpoint like there's never been another narrative that she's ever had in this particular manifestation. Like you've never existed in a different way. And that leaves room for people to come for you. That's why I had to develop my own language. Because let's be clear, trans was given to us by a white woman. A white woman coined a term and Massa gave us that too. That's why Laylim Laylur is important, because Laylim Laylur was founded by Aborigines, melanated beings. I go to work on the plantation. I had to book one of my sisters the other day. Because you know me in private. I ain't gonna lie, I be one of the girls. Before I started back working on the plantation, I used to be like, because girl, you working on the plantation, giving Massa all your energy, girl. You out there on the plantation working for Massa, giving Massa all your energy. So, one of my sisters, she couldn't wait. Now since I've been working for like 7 months, she couldn't wait to say, and you working too. But I told her, I said, you can't leave out two though, can you? You gotta say two. Because I have not stopped making music. I have not stopped creating art. I have not stopped putting out content. I have not stopped repping Laylim Laylur. In fact, it's advanced. In fact, my brand is becoming more concise. In fact, you're starting to see things more clearly. Why? Because I'm up on the plantation working for my own vision. And see, that's the problem with a lot of my sisters. You get out there and you work for Massa and you build up Massa Kingdom, then you ain't got nothing left for yourself. You ain't got no vision for yourself. You're guiding them in the way that Massa would have them to go. And then a lot of y'all come and y'all try to say, oh, you're a cult leader. You trying to start a cult. But see, that's just a trick to keep me from tapping into my sovereignty. And I see you hoes. I see you bitches. That's a trick of the enemy to keep me from stepping into my sovereignty, my innate sovereignty. That's a trick. It's a deception. A cult leader, because I'm sovereign. Queen Elizabeth may be dead, but the Queen is still alive and kicking. Period. You tried it. But, so I'm watching, right? So I'm watching this video where this guy is saying that Hope stopped being a man because Hope hated herself. So this is what gets me with cis men, with heterosexual straight men, with straight black men in particular. You know, I gotta talk about y'all, because y'all the ones that I'm in a relationship with. Even though my current partner is Dominican, but you know that ain't nothing but black with a burrito. It's all deeply melanated. Then we got some indigenous, aboriginous people around here claiming black and know they tribe. You know what I'm saying? So it's all mixed up. So I gotta talk about the black brothers, because they're the ones who I deal with for the most part. They love saying we hate ourselves, that's why we transition. And this is not just for straight men. Gay men, y'all do this too. That's why y'all had that whole no fats, no films era. So y'all could organize the ones who resonated more with their foremothers right up out of what it meant to be gay. Because gay was not about who you slept with. Gay was about a behavior. When you call someone gay, you were identifying behaviors that did not align with the construct that they were born into. So, in other words, 2 years ago, gay meant trans. Gay meant gender nonconforming. But what patriarchy did was organize no fats, no films parties. That's what patriarchy did. This is the house that patriarchy built. Patriarchy organized no fats and no films parties. And they organized the mother that lived in us innately, because we are a composite of our mother and father's DNA. We are the X and the Y representing that male energy, representing that male DNA, and the X representing that female DNA. We are a composite of both. Clearly. And if you look at the XX principle, you can pull a Y up out of that if you break off one of them legs. We all start off as female in the womb. Everything exists inside of that XX. That's why some females look like they got baby dicks without testosterone. So when you say, I hate myself, that's why I transitioned to be more like my mother, it can be argued that you hate yourself, and that's why you're trying to pretend that you don't have any femininity in you. It could be argued that you're the one who hates yourself. I don't hate myself. I love all of me. I may love my mother a bit more as far as expression, but I don't hate myself. I just happen to resonate more with the mothers that live in my DNA. So miss me with the bullshit. Halfling. Then they say we transition to be women so that we don't have to deal with the stuff that they have to deal with as men. Do you know how many niggas my femininity has saved from getting arrested, from getting harmed? You know how many times my womanhood has came to the rescue? Because my strength comes from strategy. Because feminine beings can't deal with shit like barbarians for the most part. We have to be strategic. Do you know how many times my strategic mind has helped you niggas? And for you to say that I became a woman so that I could abandon my responsibilities to my people? No. I became a woman because y'all were trying to silence her. Y'all were trying to erase her. This call and response, my brother. You set out a call to erase her, and so I manifested as her. This is what you sown, my brother. There would be no need for me to transition like this if y'all had not perverted this reality by trying to suppress our wholeness. I would not have had to manifest in such a way. I would not have had to physically erase the presence of my forefathers on my body if it wasn't for this perverted society you all have created. For every cause, there's a reaction. For everything you do, there's going to be a reaction for it. And this is the reaction. You try to erase her from the church. You try to erase her from politics. You try to erase my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. You try to erase her. And you telling me I hate myself? She carried you for 9 months. After all our mothers have done for you, you are ashamed to acknowledge her within yourself. Yeah, they got girls out here moving in a side-eyeable way. Because hope, it was side-eyeable. Because I don't feel like you communicated from a space of authenticity. I felt like you was trying to blend in. And I know you just got your pussy and you made your sacrifice and you could maneuver with your sacrifice however you choose. Because you made the sacrifice and you're young, so you can maneuver with your sacrifice however you choose. But it was side-eyeable. Because I felt like it could have been so much more powerful if you used a language that let people know that you're not just trying to blend into the construct. And you do it on your own platform. But in that interview, I felt like you kind of faded into the background. It was like Homer going into that bush on a meme. And see, that's one thing they're never going to do to me. I was walking around the corner the other night in Harlem. And these boys, I was already heated because I was waiting for my partner and I couldn't find him. And one boy was trying to holler at him. And the other boy, who looked like he could have been trans, is always the one who looked like they closet trans. that want to say something cute because they're probably the one in the group getting fucked. He said, I think that's a man. Now, the reason why I don't like being called he, and I told y'all this before, this is why I don't get mad at people when they call me a he and then they correct themselves and say she, because that's wholeness. You're acknowledging everything. So I don't get mad when you make a mistake and call me he, but then you correct yourself because you're not going to erase my mother. Period. That's the hill I'm willing to die on. You're not going to erase my mother and me. And I tell females that too. I'm not your sidekick. I'm not trying to be like you. I am you because I came from you and my father. I came from seed and egg. I'm not pretending to be shit. I am that I am. I'm whole. So I walk around the corner. 3 of them. 3 niggas stand on the corner. One of them flirting down. The other one, that's a man. Not really in the mood for it. Minding my business. Trying to find my boyfriend. Trying to find my partner. I already got dick. I ain't looking for y'all. So I twirls around the corner. So I come back around the corner. They do it again. Baby, I couldn't take it no more. And see, when I start talking, the confusion ends because you hear that bass in my voice, that utterance. That's why I say I ain't got to dress androgynous for y'all. I could be as pussy as I want to be. But my mind, my utterance, and my soul are still whole. Yeah, I changed the picture, but that soul is still intact. And when I spoke and that power flowed from that utterance, you knew what the fuck it was. And I'm not what you are. You are a halfling. I am my mother and my father. I'm a manifestation. You's a man. I've never been a man. Never. I started this journey when I was 14 years old and I'm 45. Never been a man. Never. Never answered to it. Never moved in y'all spaces. Never. Only time was when I was going to prison, when I had to go to jail and I had to be in y'all spaces. When they forced me to be in y'all spaces, that was when I was in y'all spaces. But if I had any type of free will, I never was amongst y'all. And it was because y'all made me feel like it was something wrong with me for resonating more with my foremothers. Y'all shamed me for being more like my mama when you are really the shame. That is why you're being persecuted. That is why you're suffering. That's why Massa got his foot on your neck, because you tried to erase your mama. You deserve it, bitch. You deserve it, bitch. Bitch, this karma. It's karma, bitch. It's karma, bitch. Bitch, you tried to erase your mama, bitch. Now you out here in the streets crying, talking about it's a motherfucking war on black men. Bitch, you tried to erase your mother. Bitch, you fell in love with yourself. You went to worshiping yourself, bitch. Bitch, you went to worshiping yourself and erased your mother, bitch. You made yourself a deity, bitch. And now you out here in the streets crying. But you don't be crying from the pulpits when you preaching about your man God. You don't be crying from the political all those arenas where y'all are getting elected far more than females. You ain't crying from them platforms. You ain't crying when you at them world leader meetings. This the thing that get me with y'all. Y'all want to talk about the double standards when a man say he gay how the world look at society when a man say he gay, and then when a woman say she gay, it's more accepted. The reason why is because women don't hold the type of power in this nation that men do. Bitch, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Bitch, you the Pope, you the president, bitch, you got everything. Can she at least be a dyke? You want that too. You bitches cry more than women. When a man say he gay, it's just looked at so nasty and it's just so disgusting. And they just look down on men. And they just look down on men for saying he gay. And a man can't say he gay or he bisexual. It's just looked at so disgusting. Because that's the reality you motherfuckers created for yourself. Because you wanted to pretend like mama didn't exist. Then when y'all talking to her and y'all in her face, y'all, the black man is nothing without the black woman, and the black woman is nothing without the black man. That's what you do when you in her face. But when you in your hee ha ha men corners, it's a whole different story. And I'm gonna tell you this. I maneuver as a woman. I live as a woman, but I'm whole. I lean more towards my feminine, but I'm whole. If I have a man in my life, he needs to be able to protect me because my strength is strategy. I can make my own money. I can go and buy me a toy to fuck me. So if you're not here to protect me, what the fuck are you here for? Your job is to protect me. Period. Now, I appreciate the provisions, but that's going to happen with or without you. But I'm going to go hard for you, and I'm going to protect you with this. See, that's what y'all leave out when y'all talk about how the black trans women done crossed over so they didn't have to have their responsibilities. But do you know how many black trans women are saving y'all ass with this? You don't know nothing about Francis Thompson, did you? Open a book and read about it. During the period of Reconstruction, Francis Thompson saved a lot of y'all asses. But y'all don't want to talk about that though, huh? The gay movement wouldn't be where it was if it wasn't for Marsha P. Johnson. So she helped you. You gay men too. We helped y'all too. We helped the straight men and the gay men. Read up on Francis Thompson and see what that black trans woman did for you black men. See, when you playing chess, you got to be a shapeshifter, boo. You got to be a pawn when you need to be a pawn. You got to be a rook when you need to be a rook. You got to be a knight when you need to be a knight. And you got to be a queen when you need to be a fucking queen. Don't hate because you stuck in one mode, halfling. If you had a mind, you'd know that I'm better as an ally than as an enemy. You know that. A lot of the greatest ideas that these men have, it's a woman that gave it to you while y'all was laying in the bed talking the night before. A lot of these brilliant ideas that men have always gotten credit for. Then you hear Dr. Umar and all these men talk about what black men have contributed, what black men have contributed. This is the thing for me. They volunteered to participate in society. You wanted to participate in society because the god Lukey came and told you it was better. And better is just a word to motherfucking promote capitalism. Better. It ain't better, it's just different. No such thing as better. And I say the word still because it's programming, but it's no such thing as better. It's just different. Because what's better for you is 9 times out of 10 taking something from somebody else. So is it really better? Someone else is suffering for your better. So is it really better? When we looking at the whole picture. Your better costs somebody else. Somebody else is paying for your better. So is it really better? Or is it just different? So our ancestors became a part of this because you know the whole Africa narrative is starting to be a little flaky to me. Coming over on slave ships, a little flaky to me. I know my people was here before the slave ships came. That's been verified by family members. I had ancestors here before the slave ships came. Period. Been here. Then y'all talk about Africa as the motherland. Child, at one time, it was all one great big landmass, a super Pangea that broke off into the continents that we now have. So it's all the motherland. It's all the motherland, Pooh. It's all the motherland. It's all the same landmass. It just broke up over time. And Africa has only been called Africa for like 300 or 400 years. And guess who named Africa Africa? Caucasians. What it be for me is some of the most whitewashed, colonized black people trying to be the gatekeepers to blackness. Y'all just get me with that. Y'all get me with that. Like it's the most whitewashed, colonized, elitist, bougie ass black people that represent blackness. And that's why I don't really do y'all. Because some of y'all worse than Massa. Hell, some of y'all are Massa. So when we start talking about all the black men who have suffered and died, let's be clear. Just as many women, just as many trans and queer people, just as many have suffered and died for their beliefs, for their people. But guess who makes front page? Even your death is a privilege, nigga. Our stories ain't even worth putting on the. I was 20 years ago. If I would have got killed, my story wouldn't have even went on front. They would have said black male died. They wouldn't even gave me the credit for celebrating my mother 10 toes down. They wouldn't even gave me that recognition. They'd have just said a black man. They'd have gave credit to y'all construct when I ain't been doing no work in y'all shit. You don't even see your privilege. Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, all of them streets named after them. Motherfucking marching for them, all that. 10 toes down. Patriarchy. The brotherhood. Black women out here dying, being sex trafficked, being murdered. Trans women out here dying, being murdered, being sex trafficked. Gender non-conforming people out here being murdered, dying all the time. It's not even worth talking about until now. And now y'all mad because y'all got to share the spotlight. You butthurt because it's our season. The sun does not shine in the same place for 24 hours. That's what it means when it says the first shall be last and the last shall be first. That means that you're going to have to experience the night while I'm having my day. It's our day. You niggas think the sun's supposed to shine on y'all for 24 hours a day. Y'all all in the history books. Mansa Musa, all of the pharaohs. Damn, nigga, how much you want? They erased Queen Hatshepsut. How much you niggas want? Fucking crybabies. You know how many of my sisters died being trans? Didn't make it to the age of 30, 32? You know how many of my sisters that I had to bury? Because society was poisonous to them. Because of this perverted construct you motherfuckers created. Then what baffles me is how y'all don't understand homosexuality, but you have men in a church worshiping a man. Oh, I love him. Ooh, I love him. Oh, he wonderful. Oh, he amazing. Oh, he's awesome. Oh, I just love him. I really love him. He's so amazing. Oh, he's all on time. You don't understand why homosexuality exists? Really? Serious? If I'm a homosexual, you must be homo-religious. You niggas is praying to a man, but you came out of vagina. Make it make sense. And no, my pussy is not biological. But it's still a portal. You know why? Because there's pain and pleasure between my thighs. Period. I went through pain to get this girl, and this girl has brought me a lot of pleasure. I paid the price. I laid under the knife. I risked my life for this pussy. Bitch. Speaking of that, I think I'm going to close out with a song from me and Natasha. Because I done screamed and hollered for about an hour. I had to get that out to y'all. I had to get it out. Hey. You can be fine, I can see. Because my cup belongs to me. You can be
Mirror, mirror, tell me the truth. When will the oppressed have their due? When will the oppressed have their due? When will the oppressed have their due? Mirror, mirror, tell me the truth. When will the oppressed have their due? When will the oppressed have their due? When will the oppressed have their due?
People want to know why I do what I do. People want to know why I screw who I screw. But it's my right, I can choose who I choose. Keep the focus on you, and you won't be so confused. Trying to figure out the name, it's gonna keep you feeling blue. It's gonna keep you feeling blue. It's gonna keep you feeling blue. It's gonna keep you feeling blue.
You can't define the sea.
Because my cat belongs to me. You can't define this to love. Cause I got more friends than the deep blue sea.
Mirror, mirror, tell me true.
When will the oppressed have their due? When will the oppressed have their due?
When will the oppressed have their due?
Mirror, mirror, tell me true. When will the oppressed have their due?
When will the oppressed have their due?
When will the oppressed have their due?
You can't define the sea.
Because my cat belongs to me.
You can't define
This to love. Cause I got more friends than that. Come on, Megan Needs. Come on, man. A black boy head bitch for Benji and do a great type of chick. Denim jeans type of chick. Kinky hair all with the lace. You gon' know I'm in the place. Don't matter if you try to hate. This must be blessed with grace. Got my mud in my face, in my womanhood. It's not up for debate, 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 debate. You can't unwind it. You can't unbind it. Ha, ha, ha. Maria Shayado, Bajala. Maria Shayado, Bajala. Maria Shayado, Bajala. Got a supreme shit.
You can't define the sea.
To the cut, to the cut, cut.
You can't define the sea.
I can't do too much because I ain't got no drawers on. I'm gonna pop it all that ass in reality. I gotta let that handcrafted coochie breathe, baby.
Yeah.
I gotta let that handcrafted coochie breathe. But you know what? Let me go ahead. Since I'm feeling it, let me change out of this and do a little shake. Cause you know, I got on the indigenous garb, so I got to do a little shake. It would be right if we didn't close out with a little shake.
DJ said, he about to rap.
The city of Louisiana, New Orleans, actually, all of Louisiana, the boot, down in the city, yes. The careful, okay, baby.
DJ Flash on the track, cause he's with a beat and a shit for black.
And they have not, mostly, they have not.
DJ Flash, what's up?
All right, Slay.
Down in the city,
Come on.
back here for God. Down in the city, back here for God. Down in the city, back here for God. I can see the voices of the head. Another one.
So we're gonna go to church right fast. We're gonna go to church right fast with Me and Empathy new song. Make sure you stream the music, Kini Mafa. Kini Mafa, just like the name is spelled here. Stream it on YouTube. Stream it on iTunes. Stream it on Spotify. Stream it on Tidal. The book is going to be out by the holidays. And honey, this is going to be a Bible for everybody who didn't get enough from the First and the Second Testament. This is going to be a word for you. And it will be out. This is not me sitting around here trying to make money. But y'all need to sow. And if you want to sow, my Cash App is Laylim Layler. You should know how to spell it by now. But if you don't, that's the Cash App symbol, L-E-L-I-M, Laylim, L-E-L-U-R. That means let him, let her, I am whole. Cash App symbol, L-E-L-I-M, L-E-L-U-R. Let him, let her. So if you want to support my work, if you want to support my wholeness, my healing, my ministry, because that's what it is. Just ain't the kind you used to. Thank Goddess. Shit.
Oh, let's go. Goddess, let's go. Give me a sign, let's go. Oh, let's go. You'll let me know when it's time to go. Goddess, give me a sign. You'll let me know.
Empathy.
Let me know. I'll be down to ride by your side. It's gonna be alright. You let me know.
Come on, cardio.
Maintaining, I I'm gaining, my patience escalating. Can't face me, just remain waiting for a sign. Give me a destination, give me a revelation, a manifestation that I can prophesy. This shift my shape into whatever leads the blind. Revitalize mind and spirit, heal my body inside. Acknowledge the blessing won't they blind us, they've been out to forgive them, mother, for they do not know you got to rise. You let me know I'll be down to ride by your side. It's gonna be alright. You let me know I'm not in a rush, and you I will trust.
The deepest voice I was singing that song. Open the floodgates. Let it rain, Hail Mary, oh shoon. We floating on them shrooms. Let the Father know that the bride be ready soon. We bout to jump this room, blessed womb, bloody cooch, healing portal of youth. I ain't here to hate, just trying to live in my truth. I got something to say, I'ma jump in the booth. Coming strong like Patron, all day ain't proof. 2022's the come about to get this loot. Prepare the escape route for the stride, ready to ride. When the real mama come through. When the real mama come through. When the real mama come through. Thank you, mother. Thank you, father. You made me whole. You healed my soul. Oh, yeah. I'm down to ride. We're down to ride for you. Oh, that's all we want to do. Hey, hey, hey! Thank you, mother. Thank you, father. You made
an experience.
you healed my soul. Yes. I'm down to ride. We're down to ride for you. Woo. Thank you. Woo. Thank you. Woo. We're down to ride for you. Not this bullshit that y'all been doing for the past, I don't know how many 100 years. That y'all been oppressing and suppressing mama. We ain't down to ride for that. Let the Father know that the bride be ready soon. And we're getting her ready. And some of them gonna have vaginas. Some of them not. Some of them gonna be born with vaginas. And some of them not. But it's that energy that we're getting ready. We're getting that bride energy ready. We're getting that mother energy ready. Because she ain't ready. Y'all think all it takes is a pussy for her to be ready. No, ma'am. No, sir. It's going to take more than that. But we're getting that energy ready over here at Lady Emily Learn. Because the mother needs to know that the Father lives in her too. And that there's power in her as well. And it does not come from the Father. It comes from just being. Amen, a woman. This candle is going to represent the 3 candles. There's 2 more burning at my altar. So this is one of the 3. And I feel like carrying all 3 of them in here. But I always burn 3 candles every day. Sometimes I just burn 1 when I'm in a rush. But it still symbolizes the Trinity. I acknowledge the past, I celebrate the past. We celebrate the past. We honor the past. We honor the present. We celebrate the present. We honor the future. We celebrate the future. And we do our diligence to prepare those who are coming in the future. This candle acknowledges our ancestors who have come, who are here, and who have gone on to the next part of the journey. As I blow out this candle on the physical plane, it grows with an intensity on the spiritual plane and in the astral plane, preparing us for the times that are to come. We must not be distracted by the illusions of the matrix. Because see, I'm illusion and reality. I'm like Whitney Houston, it's all in me. So I'm not going to always give you an illusion. I'm going to give you reality too. And the reality is that I'm whole. My genitalia does not determine how I will navigate society. I am not a monkey. I am not a cat. I am not a dog. I am a celestial being having a human experience. And so my genitalia was simply a tool to create with if I so choose. And I chose not to create, and I will not bring my seed here. I will not bring my offspring here into a plane that does not have the capacity for them. Perhaps in a past life I did, and this is my penance. I know now that I did choose to be born male. If it was a discussion, I chose, because I know that I was not going to procreate if I could not carry the life inside of me. I know that now. So I probably did choose that penis. But I could it while I was here. I wasn't bringing nothing here for y'all. Have my children around here praying to a lopsided system of oppression. I'm going to leave your kids to do that. But my children, my offspring, those that come from my bloodline know it ends with me. The slavery of my bloodline, of that comes from me, it ends with me. I'm doing this work. And even in your Bible, it says about us that if we keep the commandment of the Creator, not your man God, we shall have a name better than that of sons and daughters. We shall have an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. I'm doing that work. That's the work I'm doing. And Jesus said, I leave you to do greater things than I have done. But y'all seem to overlook that when y'all praising him and giving all that idolatry. So this work that I am doing is nothing new. My ancestors have been doing this work. The tide rolls out and the tide comes back in. We had rolled out and let y'all do y'all thing, and now we rolling back in. It's time for a different era. It's time for a shift. It's time for a new paradigm. And it's time for us to remember that though we are different, we are still in many ways the same. When you put a puzzle together, it all comes together because the images connect, but they're shaped differently. They're not all shaped the same way so they can fit together. They're shaped differently so they can fit together. So we can be the same, but also different. Amen, amen. We all have our own functions and our own purposes in the body of the divine. So as I was saying earlier, we're gonna blow out this candle, and it's gonna be powerful on that astral plane, and it's gonna be guiding our ancestors safely to the next part of the journey. Thank you all for joining me, on this Sunday for a word as only I could deliver it. And like I said, sow, honey, because when you sow into things, blessings come out of it. And I'm living proof of that. When I tell you, I give to people and I donate to people. And I said, when you sow into a word, when someone gives you a message and it resonates with you, if you want it to mean something to you, then sacrifice for it and sow into it. This is not me telling you something to try to make money off of you. This is me wanting what you get out of it to actually work for you. So when you see somebody giving you something, don't just get the information and keep it to yourself. If you're going to keep it to yourself, then it is smart to sow. Because then you don't have to share it. Because you already did share. You share it with me. You poured into me. But if you're not about to go out there and preach, lay, lim, lay, learn, then you should sow. Period. But I love y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a good evening. I'm so happy I got up and sweated today, sweating off that Tina. Girl, you see the rolls on my back, girl. Girl, you see them rolls, girl. I'm 45, though. I'm 45, baby. It can't stay tight and right forever, huh? But anyway. Diamond and under I say cool and keep spinning and turning in Gandhi young Bokalukalo, which means I am a child of God goddess. And if I am, you know you are. I love you. Ooh, look at my war paint just ran off my face. Baby, we ain't had church today. We had church. This wasn't church. This was church. This was the whole church. We didn't catch the Holy Ghost today. We caught the whole Ghost. Thank you, Mother. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Madrina. I love y'all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. What's left of it.